Hello, everyone. Madalena, we see you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear now. So, hello, everyone.
Perfect.
Welcome to the 48th Above and Beyond Hangout. Today, up here in the rooftop at Ferroviário. My name is João Moreira Pires, and I'm your host here in Lisbon. Over in Porto, Madalena Cardoso is running the show. How's everything, Madalena?
Everything is great except the weather. As you can see, the weather is crazy, but I believe it's something national. So to start off, I will call to the stage Miguel Aguiar, Executive Director from Startup Portugal, to give us the ecosystem briefing. A round of applause.
Round of applause for Miguel.
So, good afternoon, everybody. I need my cheat sheet, sorry, because I don't, I haven't everything by heart yet, but we'll soon have. So, first of all, I would like to thank everybody for being here in Porto, there in Lisbon, also online, and it's very good to have you all here with us today. Despite the storm that is covering Portugal, and that made some changes here. But I think we are doing a very, despite the changes, we are going to have an excellent event today. Um, we are going to talk a lot about internationalization and going abroad today, and we are going Saturday to Qatar in one more business abroad. Alexandre Teixeira Santos, he is here with us, is going with the startups to Qatar, and we gathered a bunch of startups that are going to Qatar with us today. Um, Regarding above and beyond this year, so we have this. This is the first of 2026. This year we've made some changes, so we are not going to. We only going to have 10 sessions this year. We are going to miss the August and December, but we have a little difference in July because of the all of the sorry, I'm just going to check here if it's July or June, because I think it's June. We're gonna have only on the 1st of July, because of the holidays in Porto, the São Porto, São João. It's gonna be on a Wednesday, so we're going to move the above and beyond hangouts in that month. As I think some of you know, last week we did the program Scale Up Now. We had more than 200 startups applying, and it was a huge success. We had 48 incubators and 15 investors. It was 5 days full of connection, networking, and a lot of swapping ideas and a lot of learning, where 5 startups were picked, and are going to have a program and plug and play in the Bay Area in San Francisco. They're going to do the goal program of plug and play. Uh, Returning to business abroad. So, like I said, we're going to on Saturday to Qatar, but we still have a lot of opportunities for this year. This year we're going to Brazil, Canada, Spain, and France, and the applications are already open in the Startup Portugal site. But be careful, because they are flying fast, so it's better to decide quickly. This year we have once again our third edition of SIM here in Porto, in the 14th or 15th of May. This is going to be an event that I believe many of you are going to enjoy. The last two events that we made in the past 2 years had a very good reception from either the startups, the investors, the corporate, the government that was there as well. Also, of course, the incubators. So it's a place where network happens, serendipity happens, and a lot of business is made there. So please go to simconf.com and register to go there. It's the place where everything connects. And before we begin, we have also a Women's Summit between 6th and 8th of March in Cascais. Tickets are already available. It's going to have a pitch competition, and applications are going to end in the 31st of January. So the price for the pitch competition is €5,000, and a ticket to the Women in Tech Global Summit in South Africa. So I urge you, all of the women in here to apply to the summit. So from my side, this is going to be all. We're going to have a small talk afterwards where I'm going to be as well. So Lisbon, João,
Yes,
nice to
Miguel.
see you.
Nice to see you too. This time on TV, usually in the office right next to us. So thank you so much for the ecosystem briefing. Now that we're up to date with the latest, let's bring in the startup pitches. I ask you for a warm welcome and a round of applause to Hugo Carvalho, CEO of Diamwall. Hugo, the floor is yours.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay,
Yes.
great. Will you have the presentation? Okay, thank you very much. Perfect, it's all working. So, hello everyone, my name is Hugo Carvalho. I'm the CEO and founder of Diamwall. First of all, I would like to take a second just to highly appreciate what Startup Portugal is doing here. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much for this amazing opportunity. Now, what's Diamwall? Diamwall is the first Portuguese content delivery network focused on cybersecurity. And that's the big difference, because the CDN itself, it's kind of easy. You just pick some servers around the world, you do some caching, you do some compressing, and you have yourself a CDN. The cybersecurity part is the hard part. So that's our job. We need to filter all the malicious attacks, all the malicious requests, and let our clients handle the rest. Of course, that for Diamwall cease to exist, there need to be some issues with the current product service sold by the big companies. These are the problems. The web application firewall is the first big point, where many of them just use OWASP-style-based firewall rules, which are easy to bypass. And actually, they are not even close enough against the modern attacks. The second big point is the bad user experience. Have you ever been on a website where you need to do a puzzle to go in? Of course you do. Everyone have been there, right? Let me tell you something. Bots do those captchas and those puzzles much faster than us. And those security challenges, when you need to go like to 5 to 10 seconds to enter on a website, yeah, that's messed up. So, what do we do? The complex dashboards as well is our third big point. Have you entered like on Cloudflare's dashboard? It's so messy and confusing. You have a hard time being there. I'm an IT guy, and I have a hard time being there. So imagine the normal user. It's not hard, as they say. It's impossible. The fourth big point is the slow manual reaction. You need to go into their dashboard and tell them, hey, my website is under attack. Why is that? Why isn't that completely automatic? And the other CDNs, much of them are even worse, because what they do, they put more resources. They need to scale up. Who pays that? It's not for free. The clients, the users, all of them pay that. Let's talk about the captchas again. Every time a bot bypasses or do a puzzle, you pay for it. So we are actually paying them because they can do their jobs. So how does Diamwall actually works? Diamwall uses a multi-layer system. The first of all being the deep packet inspection that actually can protect against everything I said just in the first layer. The second is the advanced threat defense, which is actually a database that is shared for all our clients. The challenge that is much different than the other challenge that I told about before, it's just for bots, and humans never see it. The fourth is the real bot time detection, and then our web application firewall that is 100% homemade. Here is a quick comparative analysis with the big players on the market. The first of all is the web application firewall. As I said, it's completely 100% homemade. It's real-time AI. It's real-time AI. The bot generation, which is the fourth generation. We are getting ready for the fifth, which is AI attacks. The challenge that are non-existent, and the bypasses that don't exist as well, yet. The dashboard is very simple, and everything is completely automatic. So, what can we learn from here? Secure more, stress less. If you have any questions or interested in what you have heard, feel free to contact us. Thank you very much for your time. This is Daimo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Hugo. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the networking. And next up, let's call the startup pitching here. So let's call Gonçalo Melo, CEO from Planta Smart Homes. A round of applause.
Hello, everyone. Really nice to meet you. We are Planta, the operating system for physical space, where we focus on making the space smart with for climate change for Portugal. And we live in a very strange times where everything is smart besides space, which is strange. Your phone is smart, your watch is smart, everything is smart besides space. And also something very strange is that what got smarter also got cheaper. Books were very expensive, music was very expensive, and they got cheaper. And we see that homes are getting more and more costly. So why we don't make homes really smart? The main asset in the world has no intelligence. So what we create was the brain for physical space, where we embed sensors and activators within a space. You can see basically absolutely everything within space. So whether about environment or climate or fire, so you can check whatever it is. It works like a chat GPT for space. You can say, hey, I want to save like 20% of the costs regarding my space, whether it is regarding energy or workflow or whatever. Um, this solution makes you save costs because it makes your energy, water, and workflow all saving basically, and optimize space and gives like reports regarding everything that is working. So right now we are working with Renault Horse, one of the main factories in Portugal, where we are embedding smart sensors and brain within their factory, and we are prepared to save a lot in terms of efficiency regarding 20%. Um, our main difference is that we don't add gadgets, we make the house as the gadget. We don't focus on LLMs like large language models. We focus on behavior. That's our core difference. So everything is integrated into one single brain. So environment, resources, occupancy, you can check whatever it is in your space and save energy. Besides the brain, we are also working with a smart construction unit. Instead that we do working with bricks, normal, let's say dump bricks, we are working with a smart brick that can transform into something else, okay? So our business model is B2B2C, and we are mostly working with industry, and we are working with industry with horse, and we are working with eco factory for modular homes. We are working already with a pipeline of 26 million of euros in terms of homes, around 300 houses. We are also working with Santa Casa de Misericórdia of Lisbon with the programs Triggers, which is one of the main social impacts of Portugal. And also we have access to the main supercomputer of Portugal. Our team is built for physical AI, and before we built with bricks, and now will we build with intelligence? And that's it. Thank you so much. Sorry.
Thank you, Gonçalo.
Obrigada.
If you have any questions about Planta Smart Homes, find Gonçalo in Porto, naturally, in the end during the networking moment. And now, moving on to the panel discussion, let's talk about sorry, not this subject, about bringing your business abroad. Here in Lisbon, we have three speakers. Andrea Bedevan, International Program Manager at South Summit. Come on, take the stage, Andrea. João Teixeira Fernandes, co-founder of Indieseguros. An applause for João too, please. And to moderate, Pedro Sacramento, Head of Projects and Operations at Startup Portugal. An applause for him. He's my boss. Come on. Madalena, over there.
So over here we have Lourdes Gramacho, President at Inversus Portugal. A round of applause. And our very own Miguel Aguiar, Executive Director at Startup Portugal.
So I can see you all here. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone that is in Porto as well. I was supposed to be in Porto, but the trains weren't my friends today, but I'm very happy to be here in Lisbon. It's a great venue here as well. So today we'll be talking about internationalization, looking through these three complementary perspectives that are essential to any startup's expansion's journey. So the event organizer, the founder, and the investor. So these three complementary points of view. By bringing these three voices together, we want to have an open and practical conversation about best practices and real opportunities that conferences like South Summit offer to these different ecosystem stakeholders. And most importantly, I believe examples, tips, and recommendations on how startups can better prepare for these events and truly take the most out of their participation. So I will start by you, Andrea, and thank you for being here and directly from Madrid. Can you tell us a little bit, for those who don't know it so well, tell us a little bit about South Summit and in which countries and markets you have your conference, and tell us a little bit how you engage with the different local stakeholders in order to make it relevant in each different region.
Yeah, of course. So for people who doesn't know South Summit, we consider ourselves a platform for global networking. Currently, well, we started 15 years ago in Spain. We're based in Madrid, but from then we've grown and we have been for 5 years in Brazil. We do an edition in Porto Alegre in the south of Brazil. And the past 2 years we were on South Korea. So we are really working on being a global platform connecting different ecosystems. And the way we engage with each community is we work very closely with the governments from each country. For example, in Brazil, we work really closely with the government of Rio Grande do Sul, in Porto Alegre, in South Korea with Suwon. So that's the way how we engage, and we really get to know each of their innovation hubs. We have a lot of partners also because South Summit has been for 15 years in Spain. We've built a very strong network, and yeah, we're growing really quickly. And besides that, we also have, and actually that's one of the reasons we are here in Lisbon. We have a roadshow in the first half of the year where we go through Europe. We've been also in New York, in Mexico, in Argentina, and in Europe we've been in London, Lisbon, Paris, Oslo, Berlin, and we really try to make an effort to reach out to every ecosystem and then bring them all together in June in South Summit, Madrid.
You said that South Summit is a platform. So
yes.
Do startups often use South Summit as a platform to engage with different markets?
Yes, of course. There are many ways. For example, if you go to focusing more on the event that happens in June in Madrid, if you go as a founder of a startup to the South Summit competition, if you get selected on the 100 finalists, you get to pitch your idea, you get to meet investors. One example that I'm very proud of, it's a Peruvian startup, Eolic, because I'm from Peru. And they were one of the finalists, and now they are opening offices in Bilbao, thanks to meeting one of our delegations there and going with South Summit to the event we do in Bilbao. And also you can go as a speaker. There's a very strong international community of speakers. We have around 250 speakers, from which almost 100 are international. That's also another way. We have a lot of forums. People that go to the event, I always encourage them to really check on the agenda and go to. We have forums for LPs, for founders, so many different types of engaging and creating these contacts.
And we will reach that part
Yeah.
later in this conversation. Thank you, Andrea. João, now the founder perspective. Why are international conferences relevant for founders in the first place?
Well, I believe they're important in a few ways. One obvious way is because you want to open your eyes to what's happening around you. So that will be more of a kind of a tourist perspective about going through the ecosystem. But most of all, I believe that they are important when you're in a process of trying to scale your business out of your own country, right? So that's a bit what we did with South Summit, for instance, that we've been to 2 editions already. It's important, everything a founder does is sell, basically. You can be hiring, or you can be actually selling, or you can be selling your company to an investor, but you're basically selling all day. And to sell, you have to be out there, right? So you have to be pitching to people, etc. And this kind of events bring everyone together. For a startup like ours, for instance, all our publics are in there, right? Because we need investors to fund our business. We need startups that are most of our customers. We need partners like insurance companies in our case, that usually also go to these events because they want to know what's happening new, right? They want to bring innovation from inside of. And so basically, for us, that's the importance of these events. It's like trying to get to know the local markets, trying to get the local markets to get to know you, and trying to spread the word.
Can you share with us a concrete example of value that you have taken from one of these conferences, and if it was truly decisive for the growth of your startup?
Yeah, I can tell a couple of stories from South Summit. The first time I went there, I didn't know exactly what to expect. In my head, I had like a picture of the Web Summit, because that's the reference for us that are in Lisbon. And it's a very different event, actually, because it's much more, you have much more room and much more time to create good conversations with people, because there's not so much noise, etc. It's a different kind of event. It's more focused. And on that first event, thanks to Startup Portugal, I was a speaker, because Startup Portugal set up a pitch for the Portuguese delegation that went there. And thanks to having a speaker's bracelet, or whatever it's called, I had access to the speaker's lounge, right? And in the speaker's lounge, there were all the investors. So I spent my time, 80% of my time, inside the speaker's lounge, talking to investors. So basically, you are a founder, so you just hack everything you can to get access to people. That was one. Last year, you know the story as well, because last year we were closing a partnership with a Spanish insurance company, because we have set an operation in Spain too now. And thanks to Startup Portugal also, we managed to bring a person from the insurance company to the event, and it was decisive to, basically that's where we set the terms for what we're doing now.
It's nice to write down those results. It's nice. I'm happy to know that. And Lourdes, hello Porto. From the investor's point of view, can you share your view regarding the relevance for a startup to actively participate in these international conferences?
Well, thank you for the invitation. It's always a pleasure to be here. And I think that a lot was already said, because it's important for startups to start from as soon as they have, I don't think exactly on the idea phase, but already on at least the seed stage where they have already a kind of a definition of what they want to start to internationalization. And going to events is always very important to get in contact. They have on depends of course of the stage of the startup, and it depends of the event. But it's always very good because they have the networking. It's very important from day one to contact investors to see what's going on, to have market trends, to check with all the competition what's going on. But they have, because to go to events is also expensive, so they have to prepare it very well to have the return on the investment that an event like this represents, especially if we are talking about international events like South Summit or Web Summit or whatever. It's you have to have everything very well prepared, not only to check what's going on, but to really to build from from being present on such an event, so they can gain access to investors, they gain access to partners, business partners, because they are mostly there also. And so it's very important and we try to promote this kind of participations, if well prepared and if with a clear purpose of what we want to get from that.
And from your perspective as an investor, when you attend these events, you and your colleagues,
it's exactly the same.
your primary
Well,
goal? Sorry.
yeah, we try when we
delay.
go to events is also to promote our brands for sure, to and to get access to other. As investors, we need two things. We need startups to invest, and we need also LPs to invest in our funds. So it's we have to work on both sides. When we go, normally it's also to get in touch with the potential co-investors, also to get access to international capital flows, and also to see market trends, what's going on, kind of an intelligentsia approach, to get to know, to be aware of what's going on, and to improve our brands also in international context. For on the other side, we also want to have access to deal flow. If it is a market where we work, for instance, in my own fund that we invest in Spain, South Summit is very important. So we go there very often because we invest in Spain. So it's very important to be present in the markets. And this is happening with all the VCs and even business angels that want to be updated and very aware of the market.
And I think it's quite relevant for us also to see that perspective of the investors also reaching for fund in this kind of events.
Of course, we also need to have to raise to make fundraising, because we don't live without capital to invest.
Yes, as João was saying, everyone is selling in the end of the day, and
buying and selling. That's true.
And picking up on that, Andrea, from the perspective of the event organizer, what do you think that matters most for you, that are, you guys that are organizing the event, but also for the participants? It's the content that people should be looking at. It's the brand exposure. It's the pitch competitions or the curated meetings that you are able to arrange between investors and startups. Which do you think it's the secret sauce of the participation for a startup?
Question, like for an event organizer, it's like choosing your favorite child, like in a way, but I mean, depends on your priorities. No, as I completely agree, if you don't prepare a week ahead of time, if you just arrive to South Summit or any other event and on the same day you say, okay, wait, where do I go? It's a lot of waste of time. You have at least 1 week in advance to explore the app, to get your priorities. And for example, in South Summit, if you want exposure, if you want to gain audience, to position your brand, I mean, a recommendation is, of course, one of our stages, especially if you are very, I always encourage speakers, go beyond talking open innovation, like really deep dive in what you want to talk about. If you want to create connections, really engage with the social activities, with the forums. If you're a startup, and I'm going to take an opportunity here, go into if there are startup competitions or pitching opportunities. South Summit, we have a startup competition, and actually the deadline is February 14th, Valentine's Day. You have until that to apply if you want. And you get a lot of exposure to feedback from investors, connecting with them, meeting other startups, creating a community, because something that is transversal in all the summits we do around the world, it's a community. So utilize the summits in the way that it helps you build these communities, and then, yeah, it's priority.
And you were saying that people should prepare
Yes.
that presence in the event, and but how do you make like this magic happens? It's all in the app, or do you have any tactic that you behind the scenes you use to match the startups with investors?
No, there's definitely some secrets from behind. I mean, of course, if you don't prepare on time, even I don't know everything that's happening on South Summit. It's a lot. So, for example, if you're participating on program, usually the people we put you on stage with, or the people that talks before or after you, those people are intentionally there. We want you to meet them. We think you are going to have a lot of things in common, and that happens a lot. Actually, one of the places where most of the South Summit magic happens is at backstage. I've seen a lot of deals and meetings happen on backstage. There's always kind of a journey for a startup, for the investor, for the corporate. If you go into the app, in the case of South Summit, you will see it. You can go, for example, my perfect combo is, if you are interested in fintech, go to a very highly curated session on fintech, then go to a event, a breakfast or a lunch that is going around those topics, then go to a masterclass on the same topic, and then go to a social summit that usually they are divided by the industries or the tracks that you are interested on. So create yourself a journey that has that combo of learning, engaging, and also creating a community.
Cool. And João, how do you usually figure out who's attending, and how do you approach them, and how do you kind of meet the ones that you want to reach out to?
Well, the first thing is, don't buy databases from scammers, because everyone that sees your name will try to sell you a database of everyone that's at the event. Don't do that. Don't try to scrape either, because they'll get mad at you. But what I usually do is, I mean, you have everyone, like you said before, everyone is trying to sell, right? We are trying to sell, investors are trying to sell, corporations are trying to sell. So we can't expect people to be super available to just hear from you, right? So you have to earn your way through the people, right? And what I try to do is to keep basically try to end conversations that have started off online somewhere. Maybe you've been talking to a partner that will be there, or maybe you have been talking to an investor that will be there, and you have just talked online, and it's a good place to bring the conversation from online to the physical world. You can start some conversations because you know that there are companies that are going to be there and you want to reach out to them or whatever. You know the investors that are there because every event has an application where you can see the directory of people that are there. And then you can also make some time and some room to visit whoever is in there, right? For instance, at the Web Summit, that is huge, what I try to do is to skim the place, right? So basically, we have a day that we have our own booth and we have to be there, and we are more reactive to whoever is coming to us. We also try to schedule meetings for those days. The idea is not to close anything in there. The idea is to start conversations or to keep on having conversations that you had before, and to be able to follow up in the days, in the following days. But whenever you're not tied to a booth, you can just go around the event, see what's interesting to you, and try to start conversations. But I mean, that conversation where you take your laptop, you open and you try to pitch someone with a presentation, no one's going to see a deck, right? You have to have your one-liner on the tip of your tongue, you have to have your 1-minute pitch, you have to have a long-form pitch if someone wants to know more because you have managed to tease them. So basically that's it. It's like preparing, starting the conversations earlier. Don't expect to close anything there. Don't come out of the event frustrated because you couldn't close an investment or a sale or whatever. It's not going to happen in there. I mean, sometimes there's always that story about the investment that was done at a side event or whatever, but that's the exception, right? That's, I mean,
and on that, the side event is always a lot of buzz around side events. Is this something that founders keep for each other, or they often share these opportunities among the community? And
I think that goes a bit with each one's personality, right? I tend to share with at least my community. So when you're a founder, you have your tribe, right? You have the people that you interact with most, the people that listen to you when you have a problem, because being a founder is lonely most of the time. So you can either just bang your head against the wall, you have your co-founder, you have a few people that listen to you, but talking to other founders is very, very important, and because they've been through some problems and they can help you, or at least they can sympathize with whatever you're saying. So inside those groups of people, obviously we help each other, and if we know about an event or if we got invited to an event, we share it among each other. Then there's an outer ring of, I don't know, I mean Unicorn Factory Lisboa, I mean Startup Leiria, I mean Startup Portugal. So there's also these groups of founders that I know that are in those places, and you share those events with. And there are events that you can share because it's invite only and it's for you, etc. But yeah, we tend to, at least I like to believe that we tend to try to help each other instead.
And when you have more than one, what is the how do you decide between which is the rule for choosing this event instead of other? Should be the ingredient of the event?
Most of the times it's about who I know that's going to be there, because like I said, I like to start the conversations earlier. So if I know that someone will be there, it's a more informal and relaxed environment, right? So you can go there, have a drink, and talk to someone for a bit longer, try to go deeper on the conversation. If it's like the last day, sometimes you just go to the event that looks nicer because you just want to relax a bit and have a drink with your friends, right? But most of the time it's about keeping the conversations going. So it's where people are, that's where you go.
Yes, cool. Thank you. And Lourdes, regarding these investors, startups, and our community, we are always looking at the side events of the investors, the Portuguese investors that do these side events with their partners in Spain. What is the main goal of these events? Is for you to find the LPs, as you were saying, or to get to know more of the local community?
It depends a lot. As it was said already, most of the decisions are not taken in an event. No, but what you have to look is for what you need. So very important is to prepare it well in advance. What are your objectives to go to this event and not to go, or to decide to? Because what's important is that you have some kind of return on the investment you do going there. So it can be mostly for networking, just to because you want to meet these people, those people, because they are important for many reasons. Even being you an investor or being you a startup, it's the same. You have to prepare. You have to set, if possible, the meetings in advance, because most of the schedules and the agendas will be full. So if you prepare in advance and get in touch with the people you want to meet, better. And also the side events are very good to build up relations and networking, because you really are working with a co-founder or a co-investor for a long time, but you just see on the screen. So it's completely different to meet it in person and to really get the in touch and much more close cooperation. But what is important is that prepare in advance as much as possible. Go to exactly see the program, see what you want to participate, and if possible, also be active or presenting or pitching or be in a member of a panel, whatever. That is also very good for your brand, and it's valuable for your future, both being a startup or investment.
We often see the Portuguese VCs, for instance, in South Summit, and they are members of the jury of the startup competition. Did these participations as jury, as far as you know, Lourdes, ever led to any actual investment? Like, did you ever met a startup that you invested in because someone of your team was a jury of an event? Is it relevant for it, or is it more to get to know the trends and to know?
No, it's maybe important. It depends, but you don't invest because you were a member of the jury, or that you met the startup there. But it can be a starting point for building a relation that can lead to an investment. That is possible. As far as I remember, when we invested already in more than 40 startups, so I'm not sure that any kind of this journey started on being a jury of a pitch, but maybe it happened. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Just trying to be funny. Miguel, let us let please jump in. You were explaining in the beginning that that Startup Portugal has this business abroad program that that has it's called opened. Can you explain a little bit more or go deeper on the opportunities that are currently open for startups to go abroad, and which conferences and markets they can participate in?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being here today. I was hearing the conversation. I was gathering a lot of similarities between what we do and what we at Startup Portugal do, and what the startups have to do when they go to these events. So basically, we do all the homework before going there. We analyze which are the countries, which are the events, which are the places where our startups and the Portuguese startups would gain more in being present, and for that we listen to the startups and see understand what are they concerned, where they want to go in terms of internationalization, and we every year select a bunch of events and destinations to go and to bring the startups. Of course, that the business abroad is one of the examples. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but like I said previously, we had the Scale Up Now event in the last week, where we're gonna take 5 startups to go to the United States to study and learn and project their internationalization to the United States, to see which are what is that they want. Either they want partnerships, they want clients, they want investors, and see which is the best state to go. And that was a program that we prepared last year, and I think it's very well received. We have also, of course, the business abroad, where we going Saturday to Qatar, and to Qatar we take several startups as well, because the Middle East is a place where a lot of money is right now, and a lot of startups that want to go there, either to search to funding, but also for new ideas, for new businesses, and for new partnerships. We are going this year. We have all the applications open to go to Brazil, to go to Spain, to France. I'm missing one. I'm going to tell you in a bit. But we already have this open where uh, we are more than glad to take our startups that apply and they want to go and pick these countries to do a lot of new business, and we help them in a way that they don't have to worry about where to be or who to meet. We help on that. We help them to go to side events. We help them to either from the in this case, the next week's case, in the Web Summit event, but also events sometimes from our own. And we present them to partners, to startups, to other founders, to investors, and I think it's been really well received from the more than 300 companies and startups that already came with us to these events.
Thank you, Miguel. So you missed Canada, but it's okay. And
Yeah.
I think it was not by chance. It's because it's in the same dates of our SIM conference, but we will
Exactly.
be in both. We will be in both sides. So we will have some part of our team, of course, helping the startups that want to reach the North American market through Canada, and we will be here organizing our SIM conference, or there in Porto, but here in Portugal. So I thought on going for a quick one for asking for a tip, but maybe we can leave that for the Q&A, and then we will have more time for people to also to ask questions. So I will open the session open this conversation to the audience here and in Porto. So just raise your hand if you have any doubt, or if you want any kind of tip from these experts in these events. I cannot see the audience in Porto, but I believe that you, Madalena, can. And don't be shy.
Any questions?
Or comments.
I have more questions. Huh? No problem. Then
You've came prepared.
We have one here. One brave attendant.
Hi. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for sharing. I'm Janet. And I was really curious because I'm pretty new in this ecosystem. I'm in here in the south because I lived in the north. And when I attended events, we had like specific matchmaking for the participants of the ecosystem. So it was quite organized and helped them to really find the right matches so they could manage their time better. And I was just wondering if you have something specific. I know the app, like both the Web Summit and I suppose it's kind of similar for the South Summit. But I'm curious that on site, is there any like very specific matchmaking that helps the participants to do that? And if yes, what does it look like?
You can do it, and I'm actually going to start by saying something that could really help, and maybe it's not so think about, is reach the team before, like, obviously if you reach the team behind South Summit, there's like a wonderful team, all of experts in each field, experts in investors, experts in startups, experts in corporates, experts in networking, and of course if you reach to us the week before South Summit, probably we're not going to answer. But if you reach ahead of time, we're going to make the right introductions for you ahead of time. So when you get to South Summit, you already have some contacts on your phone to start going in the event and creating these connections. Besides that, we have an app, of course, like other events where you can connect with people, sending messages, and even book a table for a special matchmaking. And this year specifically, we're gonna create a speed networking sessions, kind of like when we are gonna have different groups meeting in specific places. around different industries or topics. So that's also going to be very interesting because it's going to be a perfect mix between sitting formally at a table of a matchmaking session, but also networking, social summit activity. So those are 3 lines, but of course, always reach the team, at least in South Summit. We are, of course, there are volunteers and people helping out, but usually there's always someone from the team in each of these activities to ensure that everyone has the best experience. So yeah, always look for a team person and we'll help you.
And Andrea, as far as I know, you still have the applications for your 100 startups contest open. Can you?
Yes,
dig
until
a little bit
February
that?
14th. So apply.
And how does that? How does it work? The startup competition?
Yes, well, to apply, you just enter to our website, choose because we have Brazil and Madrid, so just choose the one, South Summit Brazil, or whatever competition you want to apply to. It's going to ask you for some information, and then if you get selected between the 100 finalists, you get to have a special session to prepare your pitch, get feedback, get connected to the investors, and then those 100 startups that are selected. Actually, last year, 4 of these 100 startups were from Portugal. You get to pitch a 5-minute pitch, and then from those 105 get selected and go to the big final of South Summit, which is a big moment because usually it's with a closing ceremony, so it has a lot of press and a lot of audience, so it's great, and yeah, that's kind of the journey for startups.
Listen, anything more in
Pedro?
Porto? Do we have?
I have here. Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to, because just to complete my previous comment, because I think in the SIM conference that we do every year, I think it helps a lot with the internationalization as well. We're going to have a lot of different investors from the other countries, namely in Spain. We're talking, of course, with Lourdes to help us on that, and with other communities. And we also gonna have some news this year regarding matchmaking, as the question was regarding that, and we want to promote that and to find, and we are always trying to get different ways to give these opportunities to the startups, but also to the investors. And we are bringing also the corporate side to this as well. And at this point, we are not having a lot of corporate from abroad, but investors you're going to have, startups you're going to have. So I urge you also to go to simconf.com to see what we are doing and to get an appetizer from last year, and I urge you to come this year and to be present at the SIM conference as well.
We have one online question from our online audience, so I will read it out loud. What 5 locations will you say should be on Portuguese startups' radar?
What 5 locations should be on the Portuguese startup radar? I believe it. Let me just start. I believe it depends a lot on the startup and what is what is the business that they are on, because it depends a lot on that. But of course, that we have a very close relationship with Spain, and Spain is also always a starting point for the Portuguese ecosystem. But like I previously said, we look at what the startups want and need, and I believe the destinations that we are going this year are the most appetite from the startups that we talk to. So Spain, France, United States, Canada, of course. I think these are very these are destinations that a lot of startups here want to go, and I believe it had a lot of similarities and very partnerships that can be arranged with that. But also, I'm open to other opinions, of course.
For from the funding perspective, Lourdes, is there any trending market that you are looking at, or you are mostly looking at Portugal and Spain for your deal flow?
For investing, it's no. I think that it depends a lot. If you are talking about capital raising from the part of the investors, venture capital, it depends a lot on the type of fund, on the type of market you are in, or what are your investment thesis. But in Portugal, we lack a lot of what we say institutional investors. So it's something that we really have to, in Portugal and in Europe in general, we lack a lot of, that is something that is really very important to boost the investment in venture capital. But if you are investing mostly in Portugal or in Spain or in any other country, the local investors, the local family offices, the local wealthy people, and should be your target moral. And it also, but if you are looking more on a more in a European side, it's everywhere in Europe you can look for fundraising. But of course, if you can get it also from the United States or abroad, it's also very good, because it depends on the interest of the investors that are looking to the investment thesis, and they appreciate the investment thesis that is presented to them.
Thank you. So I think.
But for the startups, I think that the destinations you raise, if they are good, but of course UK is still a very interesting.
UK, yeah,
UK
for sure.
is a very
Yeah.
interesting
place to be. Yeah.
And of course United States, even with the nowadays with the problems we have, but nevertheless it's very important. It's still the big market.
We have one more question here in Lisbon. Lisboa. Do you have the mic over there with my colleague Afonso?
Okay. I'm George.
Hi, George.
I am pretty keen on what is in it for you as an enterprise, as an entity. I'm seeing your website here. South Summit sounds very interesting. I'm an entrepreneur. I know what you're offering is fantastic. Giving startups the leverage for them to network, get investors, get investors to support them in value addition. But what is in it for you? Nothing comes for free. What do you aim to get from the entrepreneurs? From your website I'm seeing here, you've raised over $19 billion. What do you get back from the startups?
It's for the event?
For South Summit?
Okay. I think we can also then after extend it to the Startup Portugal to clearly state what's in and what it is not included in what we offer to the startups. So it's a good question, and it's good to be clear and transparent. Go, Andrea, you first.
That's a good one. For us, it's the community. I think the sole reason why South Summit can expand globally, as I mentioned, we started in Madrid, and the one reason we were able to get to Brazil years later was because we already had a strong network of startups and investors from Latin America making the journey all the way to Spain, and they were the ones who contacted us with the local governments in Brazil, and we were able to take our experience to Latin America, and then the same happened because we were strong on those both continents and those networks. We get to attract people from Asia, and they were the ones who eventually introduced us. So for us, everything happens like in a snowball. Like even the program of South Summit, it's always, we start with 2 people reaching out, and then they introduce us to some more. So we exist because of our network and because of our community. And that's what we take from it. That's the most valuable thing for us from these different audiences and the connections they create, is that they always come back to South Summit, and they bring us that value of then introducing us to more people, that we can work with them, create, as I said, we don't only have this 3 big summits, but we also have the roadshow on the first half of the year. And all of the cities, the people that help us host the events are usually our partners. Like for example, tomorrow the event we're doing, we work closely with Startup Portugal, and that's because they come to South Summit, and that's the value we see in that. If I answered the question.
Thank you. And Miguel, can you just make it clear regarding what's included and what it's not in
Yeah.
terms of supporting startups in our Business Abroad program?
So responding to the question, responding to both questions. So Startup Portugal is a non-profit organization. It's a branch, the arm branch of the government for everything regarding entrepreneurship. So for us, it's not it's the same. It's to build the community. It's to build the ecosystem, to make it grow, for startups to scale up, to go abroad and go global. And this is our aim for everybody to get together, create more companies, and increase the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Regarding the business abroad, basically, we, besides the travel and accommodation, we take care of everything else. So the tickets for the events, the after parties, all the side events that occur, and the presence in the if it's going to be with the stand, or everything from that side is on us. It's a Startup Portugal. What we give to the community, what we give to the startups that come with us to these events. But of course, that the startups need to put some skin in the game as well. And the skin in the game in these cases is either the traveling and the accommodation. But of course, it's not cheap. But if you want to go to these destinations and you want to go to make this business there, of course, that you need to invest as well. So this is a companionship, a partnership that we do with the startups that come with us.
Thank you. I think it was relevant information. It made it clear for everyone. So I think
one more question, Pedro. Sorry.
Okay. I'm not seeing you, Madalena, but I'm hearing you now.
I think I will.
We have two questions.
Okay, hello everyone. I have a question to experts. So apparently Portugal is a country where a lot of experts, a lot of people, expats, people from different countries move with their businesses, and you can be very successful when you have a local business in your country. But when you move abroad and you want to shift your business to work internationally, so here's the question, actually. What is the main mistake founders like that always make from your experts' experience? And what do you recommend to avoid it? Thank you.
Okay, I can start. Yeah.
I would say.
Yo, you're gonna start there? You have there?
No. I was directing it to João, but go, Miguel.
I just wanted to say that the first thing is what we help and what we are talking is not move abroad, is to spread abroad. Okay, so the idea is to help you increase your business and go abroad. And I just wanted to say this. I think the biggest problem is the lack of preparation. Okay, if you want to go to a country, you need to study it. You need to connect to people prior to go there, understand the country, the culture, and what we understand from what we've been talking. It's the lack of preparation is the biggest mistake.
Do we have an...
Pedro.
Go, João, go.
I'm not sure I fully understood the question, but I think if it's about what mistakes do we make that make us fail, basically.
Yes.
It's I think it's like everything, right? It's like we have creating a business is like creating an hypothesis. So we see a problem, we have an hypothesis on how to solve it, and we have to test if our hypothesis has any merit. So basically, before deploying everything we have on something, I mean, we usually it's good to be an insider and to have some inside knowledge about the subject that we're trying to address. Usually it's not a good idea just to identify a problem somewhere that we don't know nothing about and imagine that will be the best to solve it. So it's good to have something that tells us that we are the right people to do it, or that we have the right team to do it. Then we have to test our hypotheses, and we have to try to make good use of the resources that we have. So if we are bootstrapping, we have to be careful with how we're doing it. If we have raised some money, we can try to basically gain speed. It's the main difference. I mean, don't waste investors' money, but you can test things faster. And yeah, that's basically it. I mean, we can't assume that we know the truth or that we know the solution, and that whatever we do will be the solution for whatever we try to solve, right?
Thank you. So, time's up. Thank you, Miguel, Lourdes, Andrea, and João. So, more questions will be answered in the networking moment. One final note, please go to startupportugal.com and apply to our business abroad missions. We still have a lot, some of them are already ended, the application period, but we have a lot of conferences that you are still on time to apply to. And so please do, and email us if you have doubts, and we are here to engage and to discuss and to answer to specific questions that you might have. So thank you all for being here, and thank you there in Porto, Madalena and João. It's on you.
Thank you very much for this amazing panel discussion. Now we can continue discussing this more in the networking part. So I invite you all to go have a drink here in Porto and Lisbon. But before that, João, let us know who do we have to thank for these amazing hangouts.
Please join me in applauding, as I mentioned, our partners. First, Investors Portugal, and we have the president on stage in Porto. Thank you so much. A big round of applause. Ferroviário, 351 Portuguese Startup Community, UPTech, Porto City Council, Sograp, and Superboc Group. It was a pleasure to be your co-host this evening, Madalena. Thank you all so much. Let's go for a drink and network.
Thank you. Let's go.
Thank you.